Hi guys, welcome back to another quick card pull. This is being filmed on Monday, August 24th, 2026. Today we're pulling from the Gilded Tarot cards. So starting off with the Seven of Swords, and I feel like this is all tied up in the Energy Oracle cards where it's just like, don't allow things. So like certain circumstances have been happening. It's been, chaotic and stuff. But this is where, again, the adversary, whatever you want to call it, the adversary, is where it looks for low-hanging fruit is what they're saying. When you are vulnerable to attack, they will sit there and they will say all sorts of things because they think that they can manipulate you. But the thing is, whomever you believe in, Yahweh, Yeshua, Divine Creator, Gaia, Mother Earth, you are divinely protected and guided. You know what I mean? They're not going to allow you to believe those low end because you're not the same person anymore. Who you were before where they could attack you and you really took it to heart is not who you are now. You know you're exhausted, you're overspent, all the things. So this is where they're saying, drink your water, put some energy in there, recuperate your energy, get the sleep that you need, make sure you're not eating a bunch of junk, make sure you're throwing some vegetables or fruits in there. You know what I mean? Because it's like you're trying to level out your body, you're trying to level out things in life. Sometimes things are out of our control, and spirit comes in with information with me to give tidbits, and it's like, okay, and it's just, you gotta trust and believe right now. There is some energies here that are making us feel like, Five of Cups, like they said, there's this major change and transformation with Pluto retrograde going on, and this is where it feels like some people that have moved on in our life feels like it's a loss. You know what I mean? So some things moving on feels like a loss, or some situations feel like a loss. But this is turning over. They're bringing in the truth here. So that, again, this is an illusion. Remember what we were talking about. I love the peacock, so they're seen as good luck symbols. So Queen of Pentacles, this is what I'm saying. You need to stay grounded right now. Cherry blossom, sign of rebirth, spring. Spring could be significant here because spring is also quote unquote maiden season, right? But this is where it's just like we need you to keep grounded right now. Or this could be a symbol like, you're the one that brings in the money, like you know what I mean? But I feel like you're about to bring in something into this situation. You're going to be blessed in some sort of way, knowledge, wisdom, what we're, how they've been telling us, like I attract, or in our case, like I always say, we attract stability, we attract, financial stability, we attract happiness, we attract peace, we attract blessings, we attract being spoiled by universe. So keep, like, anytime they try with me, because things have been chaotic. Today was even chaotic. I thought this morning would be easy breezy lemon squeezy. I didn't see a letter on my password, got locked out. So I had to stay back and finish up all the tickets. What can I do? You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, I can either sit there and make a big deal out of it, be like, okay, I can either do this now. It had to be done now because of what was going on. And it's like, or I could, do this while I'm working. And it's like, you know what? I know it's going to be busy. It's Monday for a lot of people. So I'm going to just suck it up, do what I need to do. And then hopefully when I come back in at 4, it won't be so chaotic. But what can you do? In certain situations, especially what we've been going through the past 3 weeks, it's like, be mindful of that. The final retrograde is going to be in October. Pluto will be wrapping up. So, I feel like that's where I feel like you're going to get blessings even before that. I just feel like you'll feel that major shift happen after all that is concluded. So one thing Spirit is saying here, that doesn't that look like the new moon there? Like the eclipse? A lot of people are saying the energies are heavy because of the eclipse. It'll be a partial eclipse on the 27th. I'm going to have to check AstroSeek. I know I keep saying that, but I've just been busy. But this is where universe is saying, trust. See, mushrooms have been something significant as well. Red top mushrooms. Where they're like, we're offering you something. I love the fact they're looking in a book because I feel like this is channel messages. This is Spirit saying like, hey, we have you. Very Ace of Pentacles. Open your hands to receive. You know what I mean? One passage I read in one of our grief groups was, God did not carry you this far. I think it's widows and widowers walking with God on Facebook. God did not carry you this far only to carry you this far. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like, even though it looks like the situation's going to be a failure, or you're going to fall on your face, or it's not going to be good, Spirit got you. Something's coming in here. The Sun. So we keep getting the sun. So remember, what was it, last week or the week before, all the planets were in alignment there, and I feel like that's what everything is coming into alignment, because they're all in a straight row here. And I feel like Wheel of Fortune, things are turning in your favor. The purity of the situation, the purity of you. That's one thing they were saying. Like, I went upstairs for a quick second to get my son his food, and they were like, you're a high vibrating energy. Why are you letting low energy forces affect you so? Because they know you're tired. They know you're vulnerable. Quote unquote, they know you're weak. I don't think you're weak. I just feel like you're tired. I feel like you need to recuperate. And even when you're on your days off trying to recuperate, what plays in your head over and over again? Lives rent free in your head, the situation that's bugging you. So there's a lot of little things happening at once. That's how it always happens. We all know this. It's not one thing at a time, because they know you will thrive. So they're going to throw everything at you in the kitchen sink, because they are like, oh, you're already stressed about that. Let's throw this at you. Let's throw that at you. You know what I mean? Because they want you to react. You know what I mean? And a lot of us are reactive. When we're going through things, we take it on the people we love. Major change and transformation. I kid you not, this looked like a crow when I was pulling it over. But so especially for your Scorpio, that may be significant. White roses, so you may have like a black and white tattoo. That looks, or a drawing, something you drew, but I love the fact of the horse on there, the chariot, because the chariot is here. You know what I mean? And that's what they're saying. Very infinity symbol. As things leave your life, new things are coming in. We're making way for the new, right? And like I said, there's this, there's this. One of them is major, you know what I mean? And I feel like, because it's frustrating because I can't fix it, like I could just be supportive and I just want to fix it. I just want to tear it out and, you know what I mean? Or, like a bandage, you know what I mean? Because, especially, they're showing that essence of, the Queen of Pentacles. You are someone that fixes things. You are that grounding force. You are someone people go to for advice. So the fact that you cannot, fix it bothers you. So that's why they're adding all this on. So they want you to take it out on the person. And it's like, don't. You know what I mean? Just say it. Like, I'm going through it right now. I need a minute. You know what I mean? Walk away and take a break. So you're not taking it on them. It has nothing to do with them. There's other things going on. Maybe vocalize that. We always keep things to ourselves. You know what I mean? And it's like, hey, it has nothing to do with you. This is what's going on. If you want to share it, I'll be just like, there's something going on. Has nothing to do with you, and I'm pissed off. I don't want to take it out on you. So just give me a minute. They are showing those celebrations coming up. So my nephew's birthday is this weekend. My father-in-law's birthday was on yesterday. Lots of birthday magic. So call in those birthday wishes. Call in, whatever you're celebrating. Maybe you're celebrating the kids have been in school since August 1st. We're coming up on Labor Day weekend. So there's a lot of things to celebrate. And that's the most important thing. That even though we can't see our way forward right now, this is where Spirit is saying, hey, the sun is coming in. Major change and transformation. You know what I mean? We're just impatient. We're very impatient. Think about when you order a package. You're sitting there checking, you just placed your order and you're checking the tracking. It's like, well, they got to pack it. They got to pick it. They got to pack it. They got to print the label. They got to sit there and put it on the thing, and then they'll update but we're so impatient, that's why we have Amazon Prime. We want it in 3 hours. We want it tomorrow. You know what I mean? So expedited shipping. So that's the thing. In this chaotic time, uncertain time, we are so driven to instant gratification that now it pours into every aspect of our life. And that's what drives us crazy. I love the fairy kind of energy here. And like I was saying, like birthday magic. So, you know what I mean? I really love that. But they're saying celebrations aren't far away. You know what I mean? And I feel like just because it looks like this, the Spirit had told me a message. They were very specific. One I didn't turn over for and write down, and I kicked myself for that. But hopefully it'll come back in. You know what I mean? But it's just like, this is what they're saying. Be open to channel messages. Be open on your For You page, especially if you follow healers. What resonates with you? If it resonates with you, that was meant for you. If it doesn't, then just keep scrolling. You know what I mean? It's like, support the creator, like watch for a couple minutes and, press the heart. But, you know what I mean? If it resonates with you, I salute. Keep moving forward. This is how a lot of us feel right now. We feel defeated, but see how the swords are not actually piercing them? Because I feel like this is where Spirit is like, we could allow the situation to happen and we didn't. We made you do a detour because we're protecting you. Poppies may be significant, Remembrance Day is coming up in November, but I feel like actual flowers planted. You actually planted. So they're showing me someone that I know. He actually planted flowers. I believe it's at his cottage. So that's something significant to me. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know what I mean? I feel like people that support you, people that are there for you, people that have your back, grounding forces. But that's what I feel like they're saying. It's just like this, again, that this, it feels like you're, laying on the ground. You're like, ugh, you're actually in recovery. You know what I mean? I feel like, remember we got this before and I said it should be sideways? I feel like this. I feel like Spirit is removing these burdens. I feel, allow them to do it. When you ask for something, say to the universe, thank you for hearing me. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for, whatever that is. Like the more you're communicating with them, they love to chat. The more you're appreciative, the more that you thank them. I'm open to being spoiled. Thank you for always spoiling me. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, watch the way that you communicate with them. You will see how more and more things go in your favor. They're just saying this, so I'm going to say it. Every time they speak on my name, our blessings multiply. They gossip, we glow. Every time they speak on our name, we prosper, we glow. So if you want to say I, if it's just I, go for it. But they're saying there's a leveling up going on here. Hierophant. I don't feel like this is going before the pulpit. I usually say that. I see the two individuals and I'm like, no. Because of the stained glass, I definitely feel like this is a leveling up in a spiritual way. A lot of people are leveling up. It's just, unfortunately, they have to go through a major transformation, which bloody sucks. Because, unfortunately, we have to go through horrible situations for this to happen. You know what I mean? And it's not easy. Being a human is not easy. But they are showing. So, again, with the Egyptian symbols, we've been getting that a lot lately. Viking runes, so like ancient wisdom. That's what I thought the Asahi records was. But they're saying it's emotions and knowledge. But, you will be the victor wearing the wreath. You have regained the reins of your life. You've always had the reins of your life. But now you're really, I feel like I'm like, like, let's go. You know what I mean? But I feel like faster. You know what I mean? So you may see things start spinning here. Again, with the circle, so Wheel of Fortune energy is what I'm feeling here. 3 of Wands. Your ship is about to come in. You are being supported. So there may be significant people that have your back. Seagulls may be significant. You may see seagulls, maybe it'll poop on you or something like that. But that's what they're saying. Like, your ship is about to come in. Things are changing. Things are coming in. So we keep on getting this forward motion, which is great. 6 of Cups, monarch butterflies, sunflowers are significant. Maybe a little fur baby may be significant. Hair. That's actually in that, as a Devon, the ones that I post all the time with the messages. Frogs, we just mentioned that with meditation, and someone was kind enough to message saying that they were talking to their partner, their husband, and they were saying, hey, that I really like this, and there it is. I love this. Like, I definitely have a vision like this for my backyard of like 2 cherry blossom trees, a swing, one for my dad, one for Shane, building a memorial garden and everything like that. So that's where it's just like, again, with poppies, or maybe another summer flower. But again, they're saying even though you feel like the 5 of Cups, you're changing those things. You know what I mean? Because you probably got some sleep. You know what I mean? It's like, it's easier to see the forest through the trees when we're not pouring into sad situations. So honestly, like if you truly look at this card, only 1 cup is toppled over. It's leaning on, you know what I mean? I feel like this is where we were talking about, like, Spirit is intervening. Like, this cup should topple over, but Spirit's not letting it topple over. This one where it's laying on his cloak. So one is only truly, fallen over. So that's what I'm saying, like, illusion. You know what I mean? Very tied up, where it's where we make ourselves in a self-imposed prison. You know what I mean? For myself, was actually standing up for myself. And I'm like, you know what? Like, that, I don't need disparaging remarks. You know what I mean? It's not called for. It's already stressful enough. I don't need this. So I feel like that's where Spirit was saying, like, we intervene, we block things. So, this should have happened, but we didn't allow it to happen. Last card is Queen of Swords. So I love the fact that there's this pillar here, because I definitely feel, and look at all the doves around her. Peace. Again, with a cat, so another fur baby. But I feel like that's where it's significant, being like, we support you. You know what I mean? So this is very air energy. This is Libra energy. So that, balancing the scales. But I love the fact with the pillar there, and I feel like Spirit is supporting you during this time. Spirit is bringing the truth to you at this time. We keep getting cards like that, like the High Priestess, the Hermit, where it's just like, there's things that you're not seeing or hearing that they're bringing to your attention. So it's like having patience as more information comes to you. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying just be patient, not only with yourself, but as channel messages come in, and get out of that frenzy, that frantic mode that you have to know everything for 1515 at every time. You know what I mean? So they're showing the number 4. So, the household may be significant, 4 of Wands. They also are showing, oh my gosh, what was the other one they just showed? 7, enlightenment. That's what I'm saying. Just be kind to yourself during this time, and let everything fall as they may. Let everything play out as they may. Make sure you're getting your rest and rejuvenation. I know it sucks to eat apples and all the good stuff. I'm like forcing myself to eat edamame. You know what I mean? It's just like looking out for ourselves, doing the right things, because when we're feeling good, like internally, externally, like it starts changing things in our favor. That's what I'm saying. Make sure you're getting to sleep. Yeah, we all love to scroll on the TikToks and the Book of Faces and all, and the gram of Insta. We love to look on all those things, but you got to sit there and be like, you know what? Put down the phone. It's there tomorrow. I know we're all in the fear of missing something, but how many times is you've been scrolling so long, you start watching the same thing over again? So it's like maybe the odd video between is new, but you know what I mean? Take care of yourself right now. So I hope you enjoyed this quick card pull. May the universe bless you good.